Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. This is Rich with your instant match reaction to Young Boys of Bern nil, Aston Villa 3. And this Champions League, Lark, it's a little bit easy, isn't it? Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help us on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Get your comments in below. Your thoughts on tonight's match. Your thoughts on the man of the match. I mean, there were so many excellent performances tonight, but get all your comments in. Stay tuned to the end to see who I decide who is the man of the match. But let's get right into this game because we obviously were quite confident going into it. We knew the draw was pretty good for us. We knew Young Boys weren't in very good form in their league, bottom of their league at the moment, but the plastic pitch, shall we say, or the artificial surface was something that Villa would have to contend with, something that we're not used to. And obviously, Young Boys very much used to that training and playing on it. And it did tell. But starting lineup, no real surprises. I'd maybe thought Costa Nedeljkovic could come in, and Kev teased whether Matson might start or whether Barkley might start or whether even John Duran might start. But we went with the same team that started against on the weekend against I'm forgetting who we played on the weekend against Everton. Sorry, who we played on the weekend. Emi Martinez in goal, Lamar Bogard, Ezri Konsa, Pau Torres, and Luca Dean across the back. Amadou Onana and Yuri Tielemans in that central midfield. Then John McGinn, Morgan Rogers further forward with Ramsey and Watkins as well. Rogers playing off Watkins really, Ramsey operating off the left, and McGinn operating off the right. So very much similar to how we operate all the time, and dropping into a 4-4-2 off the ball, moving into that box formation with Morgan Rogers trying to kind of floating around when we're on the ball. And you could see from the start of the game, we maybe struggled with the surface, and obviously Young Boys used to it. We were having more of the possession, but they were looking more threatening going forwards, getting to the bounce of the ball a little bit quicker. Villa were a little bit more kind of careful with their touches and not necessarily as flowing as they wanted to be. The ball just sticking under their feet a little bit and not necessarily understanding the bounce of the ball, which is obviously understandable. And a couple of strikes from Young Boys, one really good save from Emi Martinez, one shot just over the bar from their wide man, and they were really targeting Lamar Bogard on that right hand side. And he did have a tough time down that side physically. They got round him a couple of times, put a couple of dangerous crosses in, and obviously, as I say, those couple of shots that came through, and Villa didn't really get anything going for that first kind of 20 minutes or so, despite having quite a bit of possession. But you could see that they were getting used to the flow of the game, getting used to the ball. Obviously, the Champions League first game for a lot of players, some players with limited experience in that Champions League, and maybe the occasion they needed to warm to the occasion and get used to things. But it actually was a long ball that came through from Emi Martinez. Really nice knockdown from Ollie Watkins, and John McGinn with an effort that just went wide and over. That was a curling effort that really settled Villa into the game. And from that point, they started to really turn the screw and started to get used to the game. Morgan Rogers was getting into space. Jacob Ramsey was receiving the ball on the half turn. It was much more like the old Jacob Ramsey, driving forward, getting into space, taking it past players. And on that surface, it's a lot easier when you're running with the ball to kind of keep that momentum going. And you could see Villa really turning the screw. And it was on 27 minutes when we took the lead. We managed to get a corner, and it was a 2v1 situation that Austin McPhee was really trying to hammer home. Luca Dean was going to take the corner. John McGinn came across, played it short into McGinn, and Dean ran across the ball to block the defender. McGinn plays a long looping cross. All the defenders had been sucked in. Yuri Tielemans was left at the back post on his own, controls it and strikes it into that bottom corner. Lovely strike. And Villa are 1-0 up in the Champions League. And that's the first goal since Peter With against Juventus in European Cup those 40 years ago. So fantastic, fantastic goal and sets Villa on their way. And then 11 minutes later, Aston Villa take a 2-0 lead. Fantastic again. And just such a strange goal. This is Jacob Ramsey scoring a wonderful, well, not a wonderful goal, a really scrappy goal, but really good play from Morgan Rogers down that left-hand side. Ball comes across. Young boys look like they're going to clear it. They mess about with it in the box, try and pass it back to the goalkeeper. Ollie Watkins is alive to it, and he runs across the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper brings him down. Referee's going to give a penalty, but Jacob Ramsey is there alive and puts it into the bottom corner. And that is a great goal for the local lad in the Champions League. Aston Villa in full control, 2-0 up on 38 minutes. And you're thinking, blimey, we're top of the Champions League group. This is fantastic for Aston Villa. Then we go and score again, and we think, what is going on here? Morgan Rogers, phenomenal play down that right-hand side, ball across, and Watkins takes the shot. It gets blocked, bounces up off his chest, and he hits the ball into the net with his left foot. And he has the shot with his left foot, rebounds back, hits it back in with his right foot, and you're thinking, right, fantastic. I did think initially it was handball, but from the replay, it hit his chest and bounced down. But VAR looked at it, deemed it to be a handball. Very, very surprising decision. And instead of being 3-0, it's 2-0. And we go in at halftime 2-0 up. Ollie Watkins had one or two other chances. He got played clean through from Morgan Rogers again, and ball gets stuck under his feet, unfortunately. Ball skews wide, and he would maybe be a little bit frustrated, but deserved a goal because for me, that was definitely a goal, not a handball. Going at half time, 2-0 up and absolutely cruising, really, really in control. Substitution at half time, Lamar Bogard goes off, Diego Carlos comes on, and we carry on with that element of control in the game and one or two opportunities. John McGinn has an opportunity. Morgan Rogers still looking strong. Jacob Ramsey still looking strong and kind of really just controlling the game. Nothing really from young boys moving forward too much. And then John Duran comes on in 60 minutes to rest Ollie Watkins, and he deserved a goal. Phenomenal play, phenomenal movement. Ball comes through from Amadou Onana, who in the end controlled it with his hand, but the play carries on for so long. Plays it into Duran. He plays the ball out wide to Jacob Ramsey. Ball comes back across, and in one movement, John Duran just strikes it with his left foot into that bottom corner. And you're thinking, absolutely cruising at 3-0. What a goal. He winds up the opposition fans by celebrating in front of them. But it's chalked off for the offside on for the handball, on Amadou Onana. And you think, how long do they go back for those handballs? And it was a little bit harsh for me. Yes, it was a handball, but there were so many opportunities for them to clear it that you're thinking, well, how far do you go back? But it wasn't to be rude. That chance wasn't to be rude. Young boys did have an opportunity. Diego Carlos messing about with it in the box, tries to play a dangerous pass into Yuri Tielemans. Ball skews off to the attacker. He tries a curling effort and Martinez saves it. But apart from that, I don't recall young boys having any opportunities whatsoever, really. A couple of corners, a couple of free kicks, but nothing dangerous at all. And then the icing on the cake was on the 86th minute. Amadou Onana with a phenomenal strike from outside the box, teed up by Yuri Tielemans. Lovely attack. Yuri Tielemans gets the ball on the right hand side, just tries to go past the defender, but manages to keep the ball under intense pressure. Turns back, lays it to Onana, is in acres of space. He takes one touch and then fires it into the bottom corner from 25 yards out, and that is his third goal for Aston Villa this season in 5 games. Absolutely fantastic goal, and sets us up to be top of this Champions League group. Fantastic performance, fantastic debut in the Champions League, and some fantastic performances. As I say, Jacob Ramsey, something like back to his best. Fantastic for him to get on the score sheet as well. I thought John McGinn was back to his old self as well. Once he got into the game, he was really solid, really assured on the ball. I think Amadou Onana was excellent and really grew into the game, and there was a real physical presence again. The game was nice and stretched. He had lots of space to run into and to kind of move with the ball, which is obviously what he likes to do. Konsa was excellent. I thought Pau Torres was really well on the ball. I thought Luka Dean was nice and solid, made some fantastic runs down that left hand side again, and we found him numerous times, and he was really good. But I think the two-star men with Morgan Rogers and Yuri Tielemans. Morgan Rogers is just so strong running with the ball. His technique, his touch was on point as soon as, after that first 15, 20 minutes, everything he did, firing the ball into him, he was controlling it, he was nutmegging players, he was doing those marauding runs that he does so often. I think there was one where the player was nearly on his back and piggybacking him and just could not pull him down. And he was just absolutely unplayable at times. But the midfield maestro, the midfield masterclass from Yuri Tielemans is just a joy to behold. As I say, everything 1 and 2 touch, maximum 3 touches, scores a goal, sets up a goal, was everywhere across the pitch, putting tackles in, just an absolute midfield masterclass. And this guy is for a free transfer with Douglas Luiz moving on. He has brought another dimension to our game. Everything is looking forwards, everything is intelligent, everything is done quickly. Just absolutely fantastic midfield performance. And we have to wrap him up in cotton wool because he is the key to our season this season. Yuri Tielemans is absolutely phenomenal. So for me, he is the man of the match. But an absolutely fantastic Villa performance. 3-0, clean sheet, away from home in the Champions League. We are top of the league at the moment because Juventus only won 3-1. And it really does set us up to qualify into this league ladder, because now we go into that Bayern Munich game with real confidence. It's going to be an absolutely special night, special atmosphere. The team seems like they're getting some rhythm together. We're bringing Emi Buendia on, we're bringing Ross Barkley on, we're bringing Ian Matson on. There's a real strong squad there. So it's absolutely fantastic, and we could not have got off to a better start. We'll be back with a full match reaction tomorrow and fans forum. So get your questions, get your comments, get your thoughts in on today's performance. We've got In the Away End with the Wolves podcast. So we've got lots of stuff coming up for you on that. We've got the full match preview on Friday for the Wolves game, and then we've got instant reaction for Wolves game. So plenty of shows coming up for you, and we might even throw a little talking tactics in for you as well. So do check that one out from the Everton game, because it was a fantastic show and fantastic research from Gareth. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help us on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Comment below, as I say, your thoughts on tonight's game, your man of the match, and how excited are you that we have got off to a winning start in the Champions League. Thank you for watching, and as always, remember, we'll follow the Villa.